Good morning everyone, myself Rushikesh Tikne and the today's topic is web services. So what is a web service? Actually we are using web services in day-to-day life. For example, an ATM transaction or online shopping. We are using Amazon, we are using Flipkart for the online shopping. So actually we are using a web service, but we don't aware of that. So web service is nothing but any type of a service which we are using over the internet in simple terms. So web service, that is nothing but where we can use any type of a service on a internet, that is nothing but a web service. So when we are saying we are using over the internet or we are accessing over the internet means from my machine I am trying to access a service which is provided by the another machine. So my machine's configuration and another machine's configuration can be different. So here we can say that the two machines which are heterogenic in nature, they are communicating with each other over the internet, and that is nothing but a web service. So web service, a system of a software allowing a different machines to interact with each other through the network, and that is nothing but a web service. For example, we can say that the online shopping. So why there is a need of a web service? Why we require the services over the internet? So before the web services, there are heterogeneous systems, or the we can say that the vendors who provide the services, but those services are not capable to communicate with each other, because whatever the language they are using, there are so many programming language in which you can generate your web service. So different language has to communicate with each other, and that is the basic problem. So to avoid that basic problem, we require one common language which can be acceptable by all of the machines. So there comes a web service. Another we can say that the firewall transversal. Many of the time we try to access any type of a service and we cannot get that service. Might be we are getting an error called as a 404 not found. Many of the time we try to access any type of the page. We search on Google, we hit the enter button, and suddenly an error comes 404 or access denied. Access denied means there is a firewall which restricts us to enter in system. So to avoid such problem, again we require a common protocol that can be passed through any type of the firewall. So again there comes a web service, and last one is a complexity. As we said, there are the multiple languages which can used to generate the web service. So each and every language has its own structure. So there is a complexity. To avoid such complexity, again we require a common language, and again there comes a web service. So what is a web service? We can say that web services, the first basic feature of a web service, that they are the platform used. Means from any type of a machine you can access a web service. For example, we are using online shopping. You are using a Flipkart, okay? You try to access the Flipkart, you try to purchase something from the Flipkart. The person who actually provides the service of the Flipkart can be suppose on a Mac OS. You are using Windows. You are using Windows and you are trying to access the service which is provided by the Mac OS. So both the operating systems are different, their totally nature is different. And I want to tie those totally different systems into a single picture, and that is why web services are totally platform neutral. Any type of a platform or from any type of the platform we can access that particular web service, so they are platform independent. Secondly, we can say that they are accessible in a standard way. We can access them from anywhere. From your mobile you can access any type of a web service, okay? Third one, it is a interoperable way. Again, different types of the operating system can communicate with each other. A simple example is you withdraw the machine from the ATMs. Suppose your account is in a SBI bank, you are using SBI's ATM. So SBI's operating system and ATM's operating system is same. So there is no such issue. Suppose in your area there is no SBI's ATM. There is only Axis ATM. And now you want to access or withdraw the money from the Axis ATM, but your account is in a SBI bank. So from Axis machine you want to access the services provided by the SBI's machine. So here different machines are communicating with each other, and that is nothing but the internet. Okay, so we can say that a web service, it is a type of the service where a person can communicate with the machine, or a machine can communicate with the another machine, and that is the basic feature of the web service. Okay, so again they are relatively cheap. Whenever we are developing a web service, there is no such cost is related. Actually I have developed some web services, so it is totally cheaper. So there is a difference between web service and web application. I am saying we are using Flipkart, or we are using Amazon, but we can say that Amazon is a web application. So how application and services are interrelated with each other? Because I am saying we are using a Flipkart for the online shopping, or Amazon for the online shopping, and you can say that I have an application of Amazon in my phone. So there is a difference between web application and the web services. A web service, it is a type of a feature provided by any application. So we can say that an application can contain a service, or service is a small part or a component of the application. Services are nothing but it is a simply we can say that order provided by any type of the machine or that particular application. So there is a slight difference. Application, we can see that application, it is a GUI form application, but services are the part of the application. Okay. So web services, whenever we are saying web services, there are 4 parts are required to develop any type of the web service. Those 4 parts are the XML, second one is the SOAP, that is Simple Object Access Protocol, SOAP, third one is the WSDL, and fourth one is the UDDI. We learn that, or I have already told you that there is a lots of languages in which we can generate a web service, and each and every language has to communicate with each other. So they can communicate with each other by using this XML. XML provides the uniform data representation. We can generate whatever the data is there, we can generate the data in such a format that any type of the machine, any type of the language can easily identify that data. And that feature is provided by the XML, that is nothing but the executable markup language, that is a tagged language. Second one is a SOAP, that is a Simple Object Access Protocol. You order something on the Flipkart, your order get we can say that confirm, then you can pay the bill. So actually whenever you are searching on that particular web page, you are requesting something, and when you done with your searching, you selected some item and hit the buy button. Means actually you are going to request, and after hitting that particular buy button, you are getting the response. So that particular request and response has to be traversed through over the internet, and that is why we require one type of a communication protocol, which is nothing but a SOAP, that is a Simple Object Access Protocol, a standard way for the communication. Because whatever we are generating, it is a request, and whatever we are getting, that is a response. Again, same example, ATM machine, you insert your card, you are getting 4 options, that is what you want, that is withdraw or statement, or just you want to see your balance. So whatever the button you are hitting, that is nothing but you are generating a request. After hitting the withdraw, you are getting the money, that is nothing but a response. So whatever the request you are generating and whatever the response you are getting, all those through this communication interface. Next one is a UDDI, that is a Universal Description, Discovery and Integration. It is a place where all the web services are get stored. Simple example are library. The library contains all the books. Whenever I want to issue any type of the book, I have to go to that particular counter. I'll request for that book. I'll get the rack number and the stack number, and from that rack number and stack number, I can get that particular book. Same way, all the web services over the internet were placed in a particular place called as a UDDI. Whenever you want to purchase anything, after purchasing anything, you have to pay. Whenever you click on the payment, you are getting options, that is credit, net banking, debit. You are clicking on a credit, again there are lots of options. So there are multiple web services, each and every option is a web service. And you know there is a we can say that one line is continuously redirecting to the PayPal, redirecting to the PayUBs. So PayPal, PayUBs are the third party vendors, or they are the actual web services which we try to access. And those PayPal or Pay, by using that PayPal or PayUBs, we are doing our payment. So we are using, or we are trying to access that particular web service which is located at the UDDI. And last one is the WSDL, that is the web service description language. You are getting those options: net banking, debit card, ATM card, or online banking. Means you have n number of options. Again, whatever the option you are choosing, you are getting that particular list. Means each and every web service has its own description. What type of a data it supports, in which format you have to provide your data, and other information, and that is nothing but the web service description language, in which format that web service has to be described. Okay, so these are the four parts the web service has. Okay, so later we will see this. First we will see a simple example, or before that we will just look out the structure of the web services. Actually, there are three persons. One is a service provider, one is a service requester, and another one is a registrar. A person who generates the web services is nothing but the service provider. Whenever he provides that particular service, he has to publish that service into the registry. Okay. Suppose Flipkart has developed many services, we can purchase anything from the Flipkart. So service provider is nothing but the Flipkart. They have stored their all the services on the registry. I am trying to access that Flipkart services. I want to purchase something from the Flipkart, so I am the service requester. I am looking for the services which are provided by the Flipkart. So all the services are in registry. So I'll find each and every service. Before that, provider publishes their services. I'll find those services, and once I get those services, I'll get bind with the provider, because ultimately I am or whatever the purchasing I am from, it is from the Flipkart. So ultimately I get bind to the Flipkart. So first step, provider will publish all the web services over the internet, that is on the registry. Second, a requester, any person, we can be a requester. We try to access, we search anything, just window shopping, again it is a finding. And after we are paying, that is buy. So three parts are there: find, bind, and publish. Okay. So if you get a simple example, that is a buyer which might a simple client ordering goods from the seller service. Buyer find the seller service by searching the UDDI registry. Of the seller services is a web service whose interface is defined using the WSDL, and all those web services are stored on the WSDL. Once I search that particular web service, I will get connected with the service provider, that is nothing but a find. Okay, so that is nothing but the total big picture. Here is your UDDI registry. Here I am at my home or on my mobile. I am searching anything. There is a WSDL document and the WSDL service. So how it works? First, I'll query to the registry. I open my Flipkart account. I search for the new news. So I am queries for that particular service. What are the new fashion, or what are the new trends in the market? Okay. After that, whatever the requests are there, those registry offer client to the WSDL document. Means whatever I am sending, new trends in market. So new trends in market is a parameter which I am sending. So those parameter has to get matched with the WSDL document. Okay. So after that, once those get matched, I can access that particular document. Means now I am getting all new trends. I am getting those pictures and description, whatever the things. Okay. After that, same, I am interacting with that particular document. Okay. Once I am done with that particular, I will send my request to the code. Means I want to purchase this particular item, so I will add that particular item into the cart. Into the cart मध्ये add करणार. So we will add into that cart means I am sending the request. So I want to add this into the cart. And after that, once I'll get into the cart, I'll get the confirmation message and I'll pay and I'll get the notice. So that is the total scenario of the web services. So nowadays we are actually using a web service, but we actually don't know it. Okay. So simple diagram again. Requester, it will query a service. That service will be handled by your service registry. Again, query a service. After what are the nutrient? Nutrient, that is a query. After that I am getting a whole bunch, that is a discovery process. From that I am selecting anyone. After selecting anyone, I will get back to the service request. So that is the total picture of the web service. Okay. So to communicate all those structure, that is sending a request, getting the response from the server, we require a communication protocol, and that is nothing but the simple object access protocol. A SOAP protocol, which is again a XML based, a tag based language which can pass through any type of the firewall. Because again this SOAP is work with HTTP. Whenever we are type something on Google, it says HTTP colon. So this SOAP works with the HTTP. So without any problem we can easily access any firewall. So in this case we don't get any type of the access denied message. Okay, for that we are using the SOAP. So this structure is nothing but SOAP which contains all its data into the XML format, and this SOAP works with the HTTP. So from the client I am sending my request in the form of the XML through that HTTP client, that is http dot again your flipkart.com. Then your service will go to the server, your request will be forwarded to the server of that particular Flipkart. Again, whatever the data you are sending, that data again is in an XML format, will be to the server, it will execute your data and it will send response back to you. So whatever we are doing totally is in an XML format, and XML, it is a widely accepted language. Whatever we are doing, whenever we are selecting anything, whatever you are doing online, that is ATM transaction, again whatever the data you are sending, you are selecting get balance. Okay? You are selecting a get balance and you are getting that particular receipt. In that case, the request is sent in the form of the XML type, and that is nothing but like this. Okay, suppose I want to get a price, so request is a get price and which price? To Apple's price. So parameter is nothing but a Apple. Or another example we can say that suppose I want to get a balance from my account. So I am inserting an ATM card into the machine. I will put my credential. After that I will get the option withdraw or get balance or mini statement. I click on the get balance. So my request will go to that particular bank's server. So that request will go in this format only, where I am sending a get balance from account method. This is a request which I am generating and I am passing my account number with that particular method. And whenever we are getting a slip, actually this type of the code will get executed. Get balance response, your account number and your balance. This is nothing but happens at a back end. We are using a front end. We are only using that GUI, but this type of the procedure operates at the back end, and that is nothing but a complete. This is a SOAP envelope. Whatever the return is totally in an XML format, and this language, this structure is widely acceptable, and that is why web services or can be accessed by any type of the computer or from any type of the operating machine. Okay. Next one is the WSDL, how web services are defined. So whenever we are defining a web services, what type of the data they are supporting, in which format they are written, how they can be accessed, all the information is placed inside a packet. That is nothing but the WSDL, that is a web service definition language. So which type of data type you are using, how those messages are communicating with each other, how I can access that particular message, from which port I can access that particular message. Whenever we are using HTTP, internally port number 8080 will get used. So actually we are using a port number 8080. If you are transferring anything, you are uploading something or you are downloading something, at that time port number 21 will get used, but we don't know that. Okay, we are downloading something from the YouTube. So at that time file transfer protocol will get used and port number 21 will get used. But we are just download, okay, download, install. But at the back end, which port type I have to use, how I can bind with that particular port, that totally handles by that particular website. Again, you are searching movies on the internet, you are downloading movies from the internet, it is a type of the website. Okay. Next one is a UDDI, which I say UDDI is nothing but it is a general place where we store those for all the web services, and there is one registry which has the entries in which rack that particular web service has. For example, again a library. So a register is maintained, the list of the books and all those stuff. So that is nothing but the UDDI, the location from where we can access all the web services. Okay, this is the simple structure of that UDDI registry. So there are some characteristics of the web service, that is that it is totally XML based. Next one is the course frame, means each and every functionality is separately defined. There is no mixture of the functionality, each and every functionality is separately defined. Ability to be synchronous or asynchronous, means synchronous, you can request, you wait for that response, otherwise you can continue with your work. So that is nothing but the synchronous or asynchronous. Remote procedural call, we are trying to access the Flipkart which is in US. So remote procedural call, we are trying to access a procedure which is remotely placed. Next one is a minimal effort for the communication. There is no such effort required, no cost required to access any type of the web service. Okay. Next one is a quality. Web services are easily available, we can easily access them. Whenever we are accessing them, always they are providing the correct result. So that is nothing but the integrity. Performance, how many times you can access, every time they provide a correct result. They are reliable and actually they are secure because they provide you OTP, one time password. Whenever you are doing some transactions, online transaction, they provide some OTP, so they are secure. Last one, again their advantages: interoperable. From any machine we can access the web service. Usability, we can choose any type of the machine. Means on online transaction you can choose any option, credit or net banking or any. Reusability, one web service can be used over a period of time, n number of time. Standard protocol, we are using a SOAP over the HTTP, so again a standard protocol. Deployability, they are actually deployed in a environment where there is no threat occur, so they are safe and they have less or reduced cost of the communication. And there are some disadvantages, that is availability. There might happen that your server must be down, so you cannot access that particular web service. So in that case availability can be a problem. Second, matching requirement. Suppose you are searching any type of the movie on the internet but you don't get that particular movie, you are getting some another movies of that particular name. So matching requirement can be another problem. Immutable interface, again suppose you are generating a particular web service for a particular type of the person, but another group of the person try to access your web service. In that case they don't get the proper results. So in that case we can say that immutable interface and the guaranteed execution. Every time you pay or whenever you want to search any type of the product, we cannot guarantee that every time you are getting only that particular result. You can get the similar products. So that is nothing but the guaranteed execution. So this is nothing but the overview of the web services. Thank you.